Stress and anxiety is something that we all experience at some point in our lives. Therefore, it is so needful for us to understand how we can cope with stress and anxiety when they come, not if, but when they come our way. In today's video, we will be discussing 5 evidence-based steps that we need to take to reduce our stress and anxiety level. Hello guys, welcome and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Jeanette, and without further ado, let's just get right into the video. Step 1 to reduce stress and anxiety, we'll call it a step back language. That if you are in a state of distress and you don't know what to do, the first thing to do is just write things down. But in this case, you're not just writing things down. In this case, instead of just writing about your feelings and expressing your feelings on paper, you start by the sentence, I am having thoughts of this or that. So for example, you are stressed about not having enough money to pay your school fees this term. So the first thing that you need to do, you just write down. But in this case, when you're writing down, you're not just writing down for the sake of expressing. You state that you're having thoughts of not having enough money to pay for your school fees. Do you see what I mean? In doing so, when you write down, starting with the statement, I am having thoughts, sort of it separates your problem from you. It's just a thought that you're having. This problem is not attached to you or your well-being, right? It's a thought that you're having. By doing so, you're keeping the problem in an arm's length. Step number 2, after you've written down, you're having thoughts that you're not going to have money, for example, to pay your school fees, is to gauge your feelings. So in that situation, you're writing down, how do you feel? Using the first example, you can state maybe you're feeling sad as a result, right? You go beyond and you narrow the feelings even lower, you narrow down to find the solution. So you can say this sadness is caused by fear because I don't have the money to pay my school fees. So for you not to have this fear which causes sadness, right? Maybe I need to save more money, for example. For me not to have this fear that is causing me to be sad, maybe I need to find other alternatives to find money to pay my school fees. Do you see? When you narrow down what cause of the feelings that you have, somehow you realize that there's a solution around it, and by doing so, actually your anxiety levels will lower and your stress levels will go lower. The only way you can resolve sadness is when you resolve the fear aspect of it. Step number 3 is to stop personalizing the problem. When you're talking about personalizing the problem, is when you see a problem clearly, your mind clicks that it's your fault. It's your fault, and now you're finding mechanisms how you can resolve this problem. Sometimes you need to remember that you're human. Some of the problem, in as much as you were careful, in as much as you studied, you prepared, things might not just work out the way you wanted. So instead of thinking that everything is just about you, it's because of you, in these situations, you just embrace them as they come and see how you can handle apart from you, right? If you cannot handle it, then allow it to flow, but don't stress yourself over something and you start overthinking. We're humans, remember, we cannot control everything. Some things come our way actually are beyond our control, and the moment you realize that, problems will come, yes, and sometimes it's just not your fault. Sometimes you just cannot control. Point number 4, or step number 4, you need to focus on the present. But for you to reduce your stress levels, guys, as humans, you need to learn to focus only on the problem, something that you can solve, something that you can actually change. Forget the past. If things have happened in the past and they haven't gone as planned, forget about them. And when you think about the future, sometimes you just need to take a pause and see how you can handle your present to better your future, right? So take for example, you're very soon going to take your examination, right? Clearly you know that you haven't studied enough. In situations like this, when you truly know that the future is dependent on the present, instead of focusing on the future that has not happened, see what you can rectify in the present so that you change your future, right? So in this case, you might say, let me read more today. I'm just going to focus on reading and understanding this topic. Stop burdening yourself with the things that you cannot control. Another example is that you're planning to save a certain amount of money at the end of the year, right? And when you think at that bulk, huge amount that you need to save, you're stressed already. Stop focusing on that huge amount that you need to save. Focus on the present and what you're saving right now. When you compile all that, at the end of the year, you realize that you've actually attained that goal. Remember, yesterday is history, tomorrow is mystery, but today is the present. So focus on the present. Step number 5, you're talking about mental filtering. Well, what is mental filtering? Embrace most the negative things and not the positive. And of course, as humans, we are totally wired to that. You realize that out of 100 positive comments, you get to one comment that is negative, it will totally tamper with you and will focus on that one negative comment instead of 100 positive comments that you've received. So this is one area that actually we need to be very careful and be intentional to monitor, and only control your mind to focus on the positive side of it, not only the negative. Yes, I know it can be very difficult, but with training and intentionality, you can actually attain this. Some of the things that I might suggest you do in situations like this: 1, you need to reduce thoughts of regrets. Once you have these thoughts of regrets, I wish I would have done that better, maybe I'll be in a better situation. So you realize you're actually going through stress or you're anxious over something that has already passed, something that you don't have control over. The second thing that you need to do, you need to put your thoughts in trial. So have a quiet moment, sit down, analyze your thoughts. Okay, so I'm thinking about this. How is it helping me? Is it giving me a positive vibe, or it's not giving me anything? Is it something that I can control, or it's something that I cannot control? Is it something that can actually help me or not? When you monitor your thoughts, they will help you to reduce this mental filtration where you focus only on the negative side and not the positive. And by doing that, you're actually going to reduce your stress levels and anxiety. This is just a few of so many points and steps that you need to reduce your anxiety by. If you love this video, I'm pretty sure you love this video right here. So thank you so much guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share and comment, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.